एक्सचेंज 22 स्पोर्ट्स का स्टॉक मार्केट, बड़े जिगर वाले यहीं पर मिलते हैं।
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, I would like to extend our gratitude and offer a warm welcome to one and all. It is my absolute honor and privilege to present to you a professional, a thought leader, and thought influencer, Mr. Tushar Kansal, to conduct the Startup Masterclass today. He is the founder and CEO at Consultancy Ventures and was awarded Best Startup Supporter at India First Tech Startup Monthly 2022. Armed with an arsenal of knowledge and an unparalleled experience, Sir is truly a force to be reckoned with. We are beyond thrilled to have you join us, Sir, and relay your experience, expertise, and journey to curious young minds. We're extremely thankful to you for taking time out of your busy schedule for a session with us. On behalf of everyone at ADC, I wish the attendees of this session a great time learning. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anand. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Nazish. Thank you, Entrepreneurship Development Cell at Xavier's College, Kolkata. And thank you everyone for joining today. I hope I make the session interesting for you, give you a lot of examples, and you can ask me any type of questions. So I'll keep my presentation not very long because I would like to make it more interactive, and we can always have a lot of discussion on a variety of things while speaking and discussing. So I like to keep it that way. So this is about the presentation. It is on successful entrepreneur skills. I hope you are able to see the presentation. So this is about me. In my previous life, I've worked for Big Four Consulting at Deloitte and Touche. I've also been part of the team at Brand Capital, which is Times of India's venture arm. As head of treasury at the Russian telecom company MTS India, I raised $2.5 billion for the company in 3 years. And then I was CFO of a company owned by the American private equity fund Guggenheim Partners. I'm a mentor and judge at entrepreneurship cells of Indian Institutes of Technology at 5 places, and also Indian Institutes of Management. I have expertise of financial and business advisory, fundraising, creation of documents. I'm also a venture advisor with Loyal VC, which is a Canadian VC fund led by INSEAD alumni with a core portfolio of over 200 investments in more than 46 countries. Over the years, have arranged funding for startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors in technology, non-technology. You can see more than 50 recommendations on my LinkedIn. My expert opinion is often sought by leading business news channels and publications like CNN News 18, VCTV, Business World, Business and Economy, Curious, Digital Market Asia. I have done more than 200 talks. You can check on YouTube or Venture Capital TV streaming site or my corporate website, consultancy.com. Did my executive education in leadership from Harvard Business School, MBA in finance from University of Delhi, and also textile engineering. So what are the entrepreneurship skills that determine success? It is a mindset. It is a mindset that I will hustle it out. Hustle is a word associated with entrepreneurs. Hustle basically means that you keep at it. You keep at it, keep at it. You know, you are never free. I mean, if you are developing a module for your technology, then you are also, networking with, joining some events, doing some online classes, then going to these events, exchanging visiting cards, or you are learning growth hacking. There are so many courses available nowadays. Google has made the education democratic. The content is freely available, or you can pay a small amount and use the content. So you can join different courses, and so that is called being hustling it out. And hustle means that you are always in the learning mode, and you are always in the fighting mode. So one of the things which entrepreneurs should have is exceeding conventional belief. Now, you will find as you gain experience in life that whatever fundas you develop, life will show you that that funda was wrong, or that funda, the opposite of that funda is also correct. So people assume a lot of things. We have opinions about this guy is like that, this company is like that, this country is like that. This, if you go deeper, you will find that there is so much else to it. And the biggest blunder we do is to judge ourselves. We are bad in this. We don't have it in us. We don't have the communication skill. You never tried. You never hustled it out. The worst atyachar we do is to judge ourselves. So entrepreneurs should first of all believe that if the larger macro logic of the sector is there, the micro logic of the business is there, then you can do it. For example, the long-term trend, Earth is warming up. Long-term trend, the UN has adopted Sustainable Development Goals. Long-term trend, countries are rating businesses on environmental, social, and governance factors, ESG. Long-term trend, any business which is good for environment and which is taking care that it is not bad for the environment will succeed, because it will get the money, it will get a lot of resources. So if you are in the right business, so this company had come to me many years back. They said that the drivers of Swiggy, Zomato, Big Basket, Flipkart, they all use petrol vehicles, diesel vehicles. So if we give them electric vehicles on rent, they will save 70% of the cost. So the business logic is perfect. Now what remains is to set up the business. There, what will matter is your micro and macro skill set. Skills which can be learned if they are not in you, or you can keep people in your team who have those skills if you don't have it in you. Keep people smarter than you. It takes a lot to keep people smarter than you, but do it. Have people who are smarter than you. So exceed conventional beliefs that, this can never be done. Who would have thought that in a country like India, where the girl to female to male ratio was 910 or 920 girls to 1,000 guys. Now the female to male ratio is 1,010 to 1,000. Girls are more and males are less. Who would have thought? Just because of things like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the campaign, the social movement, like building toilets for women. Crores of toilets have been built for women in schools, in villages. The basic things. Now, if you believe life is like that, this thing works like that, India is like that, you can never create something which was through your mind. So you have to be an independent thinker that, it can be done. A larger picture that it can be done. And as I said, hire people smarter than you, which means decentralized management. Then other things which an entrepreneur needs, see, there will be times when you will swing between extremes. On the one hand, you will say, I am about to get a huge corporate order in spite of being a startup, in spite of not having the credentials. On the other hand, you will say, where is the cash? My cash in the company's account is there to last for another 3 months. So your mind will swing to extremes. Either you will feel like Steve Jobs or you will feel like Anil Ambani. So you have to be very balanced in knowing that whatever you are doing has a market out there, has a customer out there, has strong fundamentals behind it. So that is why when we say what investors want, we always say choose a good problem statement. If your problem statement makes a huge difference in people's lives, that business will definitely get set up well. So choose a good problem statement. Then you find the solution to it. Try to use technology in the solution so that it is scalable, it is fundable. It can be used through a smartphone. People are hooked to smartphones 6 to 14 hours per day because of artificial intelligence. So, your mindset should be in identifying to do something which has a very strong fundamentals. Now, what else does an entrepreneur need to be? Cautiously optimistic. As I said, don't swing in extremes. Tenacious. Tenacious means I have seen companies which were like, cost cutting, and they were forever hoping they will raise funds. And because they didn't give up, they managed their cash well. So one part of an entrepreneur is cash flow management. The cash inflow in the business and the outflow, you have to manage as a leader. This is a basic skill. All CEOs are inside of them. They are CFOs, chief financial officers, in the sense that they keep an eye on the cash flow. You open an office, you hire a team. Your cost is there. You have to pay them. You have to pay for the office. But if the revenue is not coming, you projected that business will grow by 40%. If your business development guys are not bringing the cash inflow, the whole pack, the whole thing collapses like a pack of cards. So you have to be tenacious. You have to have patience. So, I'll give you an example from the Sri Lankan Marva Natapattu. He scored 4 zeros in his first 4 matches. And then later on, he was hailed in his career as someone who sticks to the crease like Rahul Dravid. And he scored, I think, 8,000 or 9,000 test runs. So, patience. Look at this guy, the guy who Yuvraj Singh hit for 6 sixes. This bowler from England. After he got hit for 6 sixes, I thought his career is over. But he turned out to be a match winner. He did not leave self-belief. And he took, he performed really well. So you have to be creative. Creative to save cost, creative to, what thing to offer at what point in time. So there are situations when you have to take a decision in a meeting at the same time. So, you require creativity. You require quick thinking, quick decision. So then you have to be persistent, tactful. Tactful is very important because suppose you are founder of Snapdeal and you have 56 investors, all big ego people like SoftBank, Tiger Global. You have like Mayfield, $800 million. And those people are, you have to manage all these people. They are your investors. So you have to be very tactful. Otherwise, being temperamental is very easy. Look at Ashneer Grover and Bharat Pay fight. But the thing is, people who are tactful, who speak less, listen more, who reserve their judgment, think about it, then take a decision. No instant reactions, think over it. People, those qualities are very important for an entrepreneur. Confidence is, of course, there. Consistency is there. And you have to be critical thinker. Why does this guy, Elon Musk, why is the richest people on the planet? Tesla is making huge losses, and Tesla says that before 2023 they won't make a profit. Still, he's the richest man on earth because he's a critical thinker. When he talks about technology, when he talks about where the green movement is going, on the Indian side, you have Nitin Kamath, the founder of Zerodha. Whatever he writes on social media, people just he writes very honestly. He won't push up a stock just to make money. He will just tell you, guys, Ruchi Soya stock is about to get delisted because the company is coming out of NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. So everybody should exit. So he will give you the benefit. And that is why people love Zerodha, that they are honest. They won't charge you extra commission. There is no fine print. So he has made his mark like that. So, if he talks about an issue, people say, right, what a brilliant analysis. So there is a premium to such people. So that is why Elon Musk is the richest and not Jeff Bezos. Whereas Amazon is way ahead of Tesla. So then hard skills. The good part about hard skills is that they are very easy to acquire. Marketing skill, the more you deal with customers, you start getting a hang of it. But always remember that hard skills in the Indian education system, one gets very bored of studies because all the time you are fighting for marks. So it is very boring. It's not like You have to do an independent research, submit it, present it on stage. So those things, they are still missing, because in every class there are 40 students, 45, 50 students. The teacher can't give you individual attention. So those people who are graduating from the Indian CBSE system, school system, they don't focus on personality. Whereas, I'll give you an example. There is a multinational company. My friend has been there since 17 years. It's a huge US multinational, and he has risen quite a lot. So now he gets to meet like CEO and CFO of that multi-billion-dollar company who come to Singapore to meet him, or he gets to do wining and dining with these guys. The first thing which he noticed about being, having studied in the US and Europe, increasingly in China, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, focus on personality. I mean, they will always talk on the front foot. They are not guilty. They are not complexed. Even if they know this much, they will project this much. But the Indian guy will know everything because he reads a lot. India is the largest, most readability of newspapers, most readability of what is happening in the world. Indians are most aware. Where is Ukraine? Where is this and that? Other people don't bother. And so, if you look at the Indian air hostesses, they are the most hardworking. I have taken flights. I've taken Turkish flights. I've taken Singaporean flights. I've taken Egypt flight. I mean, the ethic of working hard is not there. The Indian air hostess will serve you 10 times more. But the thing is, we will still have personality issues. Why? Because of the education system. Because it is not giving you enough exposure. But I'm very happy with the entrepreneurship development cells of colleges nowadays. There is a lot of exposure. And with the COVID, the edtech companies, all the video-based courses. So the content is out there. If somebody wants to learn a hard skill, the content is out there for very cheap or for free. You just have to be willing to subscribe it, do it, spend time and acquire that skill. So Google has made it very democratized. Now, the second thing is management skill. Management skill is a very overhyped skill. Management skill is an overhyped skill. As long as you make people see 90%, I don't know the exact percentage, but suppose 90% of the people in this world, more than 90%, they are not leaders. They are followers. They want to be behind you. And the Indian education system is still, the British system that, we are preparing clerks. So we are preparing followers. Nowhere in your school education, you would have been taught how to manage your personal finance. What is leadership? What is entrepreneurship? How to open a company? What does a leader require? No. They're talking about science, commerce, arts. As if, everybody will be a scientist. As if everybody will be a CA. So it's very lopsided. But management skill is basically learned when you are in sports. You learn management skill. What is a team? Where did I let down my team? And when I said more than 90% of the people in this world are followers, it is an opportunity for you to be a leader who people look up to. And for that, you have to stick your neck out. You have to say, I am standing for this goal. Who will follow me? And anybody who puts his neck out, takes the risk, people start following that person. They will back you. They will be behind you. They will say, I'm with you, because they are followers. And then it becomes a movement. When you have 10 followers, they become 100. So Sadhguru is on a Europe tour, on a bike, on the Save Soil mission. Wherever he goes, the buzz goes that Sadhguru is there. They come to meet him, and he talks to them. He gives some speeches, and people really want to know his view on different things. So he has positioned himself a leader, and you have to sacrifice a lot. I mean, Jeff Bezos, people say richest guy, Elon Musk, richest guy. They gave their life to it. They are still giving their life to it. So do you have it in you to give your life to something, to creating something which has risk also? Not everybody will become Jeff Bezos. Not everybody will become Elon. Maybe I met a investor 2 days back, very nice guy, very amazing guy. He was like a very not a rich person at all. Now he has 2 companies. One is a 300 crore export company. One is a 150 crore manufacturing company. All built by himself. He still aspires to learn more. He says, Tushar, teach me how to invest in startups. He wants to learn. He has invested in 25 companies by self-learning, talking to people. And out of 25, 6 investments are doing very well. One of them has gone on to $100 million. So basically he stuck his neck out. Like in the 300 crore export business, he has 700 employees. In the 150 crore export business, he had 300 employees. He's managing the houses of 1,000 people. Their house is run by this guy. He's always busy. He's always traveling. He doesn't have time. At the age of 47, he looks like 55. So there are other things which are very fancy in the European world, in the Western world. Office and life balance, work-life balance. So, okay, so those things are also there. Probably the super rich, they are able to apply it better on them. So they are still fit. Whereas if you see somebody from India who's struggled, he becomes like bald and white hair, and his whole, from the physical fitness side, he's not there. Mostly. And if you look at the young billionaires in the crypto world, Binance, blockchain, these guys look at fitness also. So it's another thing to add to your to-do list. So another thing is social skill. If you have to be in events, you have to be talking to a lot of people who want to listen to you. Now, if you are very lazy, you will not go. But the thing is, again, the point is, if you are a leader, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to stick your neck out. So those who feel the typical Indian mentality, do MBA, do engineering, do MBA, take up a job, go abroad, get into a multinational, and then see after 15, 20 years what happens. Maybe open a startup or that stage. So that's the usual safe, no risk kind of thing. And education is treated as as something which prevents you from becoming poor, rather than a beautiful thing which can empower you to do something, make a fundamental change in people's lives. So the thinking becomes very small, and then we start judging ourselves. Look at that guy, he's doing so much. Look at me, I'm not doing anything. And then all those mental problems start. And then next thing is hard skills. As I told you, cash flow management, if you have to know how to forecast your business for the next 5 years. what will be my revenues, costs, operating profit, um, working capital, how much would I need to put in assets, what kind of business I have. So, for understanding that. Navigation skills, hiring skills, very important. Let me tell you, I deal with this guy. He's 20 years old. When he first came to me, he was doing everything himself. So I pushed him. I gave him his first fee check. I said, you do it. You are an intelligent guy. You really know what you are doing and you believe in learning. I'll pay you your first fee. He's still not 21. He'll be 21 in November. He has 25 employees and an office on rent. And he's managing. He learned the critical factor, which was hiring skills. 6 out of 10 people he hires are good. 4 he throws out after 2 months or 1 month. So he's able to have quality people in his team. So it's not like better.com, the CEO who threw out 1,000 people on a Zoom call, 5-minute Zoom call. It's not like that. He gives a very frank assessment to the employees that where are they missing it and why he has to tell them to leave. And he gives them a very objective feedback. So people really know, okay, no, he's making sense. We were really not at it. He trains them also. Apart from hiring skills, he trains them also. Technology skills. The salaries of technology guys nowadays? It's like over the roof. Joining, people are getting Mercedes on joining. If you are an Android developer, Java, if you are agile network framework, if you know anything technology, it is so bad that I have a friend in the US who has a software company in the US. So one of his IAS friends, he had told him to buy a land near Bangalore airport so that in the future he can set up a software company in Bangalore also. So this guy said, okay, he bought that plot. And now the salary differential between technology people in the India and abroad has gone. So people here sitting in India are getting dollar kind of salaries. So technology skills. It's not like I didn't study in school, so I cannot learn technology now because I did commerce. Everything is available on edtech companies. You can just learn it. And you have Doubtnut, you have things, so many websites, you can solve your doubts. You should be willing to work hard. Main thing is that. Next thing is finance skills. As I told you, budgeting and making the right investments, borrowing wisely and everything. Delegation. A lot of people, they want to do everything themselves because they believe that they are perfect, that they make the perfect email, they make the perfect documents, they are perfect. So they never become leaders. They are not able to delegate work. So delegation is a very key aspect of being a leader. How to enable people so that they start doing it themselves and reporting to you that they are handling something fully and they are just reporting to you, instead of you telling them, buddy, if I don't call you, it means you won't call me back, because you are not handling that person properly. So you hired him and that person is lost. So every time you have to call him. Why? Because you never trained him. You never gave him full responsibility. You never told him that he has to give regular feedback. You never fixed the process with him. But leaders, entrepreneurs, they have to cultivate and develop such human resources. Delegation is a critical aspect of it. Then skills that distinguish an entrepreneur from an employee. Entrepreneur takes risks. He keeps a focus on मेरा फायदा कहाँ से हो रहा है. Where am I making the last rupee more. So every decision is a financial decision. So this guy, who's a classmate of mine, IIM Lucknow, he opened a logistics company. Then he went to Snapdeal owners. He said that, why are you giving all your logistics work to outside companies, third-party companies? You put some investment in my logistics company and you give all the logistics work to my company. So your value of investment will go up because all your logistics will be conducted in-house in a company in which you have a stake. So they first tested him for 6 months. They first gave him 1 crore. They told him to open a center, a logistics center. He opened, ran it well for 3 months. Then they said, okay, one crore more, open another center. Then he ran it well. So after 6 months, they bought 95% of the company, told him you keep 5% and you become the CEO of the company. And they transferred all the business of Snapdeal to this company, the logistics part. This company was Vulcan Express. So basically, end of the day, it is not about purely finding a right resource. It is also about the hardcore economic logic behind the decision. That you give all your logistics business to in-house, the revenue of the company goes up, and you have an investment in the company, the value of the company, that investment goes up. So then entrepreneurs, they create directions. Entrepreneurs make and break plans. Yes, you have to pivot your business model. After COVID came, a lot of businesses just fell down and companies had to pivot their business model. So entrepreneur has to consistently look out whether I need to change the business model or not. And entrepreneurs, they are jack of all, not master of none. They will know how to talk to the marketing guy, what are the fundas of the marketing guy, supply chain, finance, HR, fundraising, accounting. So you have to know a bit taxation. You have to know a bit of everything. And if you are keeping quality leaders in each department, when you'll hustle it out, when you'll hustle yourself in these meetings, you will get to learn about all the departments. And successful entrepreneur is a person with a plan, who knows exactly what they need to and how, having a very clear vision. So when 1994 Jeff Bezos started, he said, everybody will be on the internet. People, instead of going to shops, they will shop on the internet. On these two lines, the cost of the products will become lower and lower. And all that will happen. People will get cheapest product at the fastest time, delivered at their home, with the security of knowing that the quality of product is good. So the rating system. So he had this thing, a very clear vision, and this has stayed true for 28 years now. And he's the richest, amongst the richest on earth. And so this is it. I want to keep it very interactive. I don't believe in one-way talks. So that's why I gave a lot of examples. So feel free to ask me any questions, and I would love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. So if I can drop my LinkedIn on the chat, would that work? You guys can add me?
Yes, absolutely.
So how do I do that? Should I drop it on Entrepreneurship Development Cell SKC?
So there's an option for everyone.
No, I'm not seeing that option.
Okay, so you send it to me. I'll just post it in the chat box.
Who said that? Nazish?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm just sending it to you. Yeah, thank
Sure,
you.
sir.
So I hope you guys liked what I spoke. I wish I could have given more examples. But once you ask me questions, I'll give you more examples.
So I think all the startups present here, if you all have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and ask your questions to Sir directly. Okay, we have a question from Anuj. Anuj, please go ahead.
So, sir, firstly, thank you so much for this enlightening session. We really learned a lot from you. So, my question to you would be, in this day and age, where markets, I feel, are saturated, is there any scope for any new startup or developing a business idea in more generic fields like maybe a CA or in the fields of a lawyer or something like that?
I'm very happy at your question because if you were asking this question in the US, which is the most capitalist economy on the earth, they would have pounced on you. What do you mean that everything is saturated? What do you mean? So you had a 40-minute delivery for Big Basket and others. Then you had 30 minutes. Now you have 10 minutes. It's stupid. It's crazy. But you know how much money Zepto has raised? I mean, the thing is that people are pampered. You know, they want the cheapest thing at the best quality, delivered the fastest, and option to give it back also. So till the time people are pampered, I don't think this will stop. And a lot of investor money keeps on coming in new startups. So even if you have something nice, somebody will undercut your cost, so your price, and then he start fighting with you on the basis of price. So you will start thinking, how is this guy doing it? Because at this price he can never make money. But the fact is he has investor money. So either the cash comes from balance sheet side, which is the investor, or the cash comes from profit and loss side, which is the revenue. So, but the thing is that companies have a journey. So at some point in the journey, companies which had a bad business model, they face it. So they really face it. Look at Unacademy. Unacademy, $3.4 billion valuation, revenue hardly, I think, 1,000 odd crores. And every business they have bought is in deep losses. And now they laid off 1,000 people. And they laid off 220 teachers. So now so at some point, the logic of managing your cash flows beautifully will sink in. And so, Snapdeal faced it, right? I mean, Snapdeal hired, I think 6 or 10,000 people, believing that it will become the first or second largest e-commerce company in India. And they laid off 70%, 80% of those people. So, okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that from a spiritual standpoint, like I'm a follower of Sadhguru and Shri Ravi Shankar and Sister Shivani. From a spiritual standpoint, I feel that everything has been invented. But because, I feel that, you can have gold-plated cars, or you can have, even a lighter iPhone. But the thing is that at some point, something new comes in which surprises you. So what about flying taxis? I mean, we always thought that flying taxis are like 2,200 and beyond. But now in the West, you have those hovercrafts which you can sit and go from one place to the other. So at some point in time, a lot of research and development will go in that product. The price of that product will come down, and it will become affordable for the common people, and it will start getting commercialized. So I hope I answered your question. I do feel that although from the basic requirement of people, food, housing, and clothing, all that is there. But what about the smartphone? once the smartphone had came in, it destroyed thousands of industries. It destroyed the pager, it destroyed the GPS networks, it destroyed the camera companies, it destroyed the iPod, the music companies. So, it destroyed so many companies. So one never knows.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer, sir.
Thank you.
So we have another question from Mr. Deepak Kumar from Yogita Biofarming.
तुषार जी नमस्ते।
हेलो
सर, हम सिर्फ एक ही चीज जानना चाहते हैं, जब हम लोग एक प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर रहे हैं फार्मर्स का, इनका इनकम को जरा बढ़ाना है।
आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी कट रही है, मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप क्या कह रहे हो। कैन यू जस्ट से इट अगेन प्लीज?
या फार्मर्स जो स्मॉल एंड मार्जिनल फार्मर्स है, उनका इनकम को सही जगह में लाना है। इसके लिए हम लोग उनके साथ में फिजिकली काम करते हैं। एक मॉडल के द्वारा हम लोग फिजिकली काम कर रहे हैं। तो हम ये चाहते हैं, हम ये पूछ रहे हैं, जब भी हम इन्वेस्टर के पास जाते हैं तो वो डिजिटली बात करते हैं, डिजिटल चाहिए डिजिटल। तो ये छोटे फार्मर जो 8 से 10 घंटा फील्ड में काम कर रहे हैं, उनके पास तो समय ही नहीं रहता है कि वो मोबाइल यूज करें। तो इन सब छोटे फार्मर्स के लिए ऐसा क्या चीज करना है जो कंपनी के लिए भी लाभ हो और इन फार्मर का ज्यादा लाभ?
इसमें इतना स्कोप है करने का कि मतलब कोई एंड ही नहीं है, क्योंकि मेन प्रॉब्लम जो इंडिया की है, 50% पॉपुलेशन फार्मर है। तो वो कहते हैं ना कि जो सारा वोट बैंक है वो किसान है, और जो ये 50% फार्मर है, इसको इतनी सब्सिडी देने के बाद और इतना फर्टिलाइजर भी सस्ता और बिजली भी फ्री और सब कुछ फ्री करने के बाद भी इतनी प्रॉब्लम रहती है। उसका रीजन ये है कि जो फार्म का साइज है वो बहुत छोटा है सबके पास। वो बार बार फैमिलीज में बट के इट इज वेरी स्मॉल। तो आपको अगर इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल, बड़ी मशीन्स चाहिए, जैसे यूएस कनाडा में फार्म्स होते हैं 20,000 एकर्स, 500,000 एकर्स, या फिर यूरोप में आप सब्सिडी देखो, $800 बिलियन की सब्सिडी देते हैं फार्मर्स को, क्योंकि जो ग्लोबली एरिया है अच्छा ग्रो करने के लिए वो तो इंडिया के पास है। तो वहां पे तो ठंड के इट इज कोल्ड, बट तब भी वो मशीनें लगा के करते हैं। तो वो सारी सब्सिडीज जो गवर्नमेंट वहां देती है, तभी उनके प्रोडक्ट्स इतने सस्ते हैं, और हमारा फार्मर कमा नहीं पाता, क्योंकि यहाँ का जो फार्मर है उसके पास वो उतनी लेवल सब्सिडी का नहीं है, और उसके जो फार्म साइजेस हैं वो छोटे हैं। अगर यही कोऑपरेटिव बेसिस पे फार्म चलाएंगे, तो सब लोग अगर मिलके, जैसे मदर डेयरी चलती है, तो आप बड़ी बड़ी मशीन्स लगाओगे, आप बहुत एफिशिएंट तरीके से फार्मिंग करोगे। अभी क्या है कि एग्रीटेक में बहुत काम हो रहा है, बहुत काम हो रहा है। अगर आप एग्रीटेक कंपनीज में देखो तो फंडिंग की लाइन लगी हुई है, और बेसिकली इसमें हाँ,
डिजिटली हम इन किसानों के लिए क्या करें? ये छोटे किसान, ये
बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो। आप देखो ना, अगर आपको सॉइल की एसिडिटी चेक करनी है, और अगर आपके पास एक सस्ती मशीन है, तो वो आपको बता नहीं सकती कि आपको कौन सी क्रॉप इस बार उगानी चाहिए।
हमारे पास में सॉइल टेस्टिंग किट खुद का है।
हाँ।
वो ब्लूटूथ से यूज होता है।
हाँ।
जो हम लोग फ्री में किसानों को सर्विस दे रहे हैं सॉइल टेस्टिंग का। तो ये है, ये जो मोबाइल ऐप की बात आती है, किसान को किस तरह का एप्लीकेशन चाहिए जो उनका सही में यूज हो? क्योंकि हम भी जान रहे हैं सर कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो फंडिंग उठा के बैठे हुए एग्रीटेक कंपनी, उनका मोटो कुछ और था, फंड लेने के बाद उनका मोटो कुछ और आ गया। तो हम हमारी कंपनी चाह रही है मोटो जो है वही रहे, और किसानों को
आप मेरे को रीच आउट करो थोड़ा सा। मेरा अपना मेल आईडी देता हूँ यहाँ पे, आप मेरे को थोड़ा भेजो, मैं आपसे फिर एक कॉल सेट करके इसको अंडरस्टैंड करके कि बेसिकली आपकी कंपनी करती क्या है, फिर हम इस पे बात करते हैं। नाजिश, आप मेरा मेल आईडी डाल देना।
ओके सर, ठीक है।
थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Asif Khan. You can ask your question to sir.
आसिफ आपका
So-
म्यूट पे हो मेरे ख्याल से.
So you're not audible, Mr.
Mute.
Asif.
Hello, sir.
हेलो. हेलो.
हेलो.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
हाँ जी सर. तो सर मेरा नाम आसिफ है और जो हमारा स्टार्टअप है सर वो करेंटली वी आर वर्किंग ऑन बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल. बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल सर, इस वेंचर पे हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से एक अल्टरनेट मेटल का फिटनेस प्रोडक्ट हम मार्केट में ला सके. सर इस पे हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं और जैसे कि हम लोग अभी जस्ट 1.5 ईयर हमको इस स्टार्टअप में हुआ है और मेरा क्वेश्चन यहाँ पर काफी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है कि अगर हम इन्वेस्टर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखते हैं तो जैसे जो भी हमने देखा है या लोगों से डिस्कस किया है या फिर जितने भी बुक या फिर जो भी रिसर्च पेपर हमने रेफर किए हैं, तो हमेशा ये देखने को मिलता है कि टेक बेस्ड स्टार्टअप्स जो होते हैं उस पे इन्वेस्टमेंट के चांसेस काफी हाई होते हैं और जो लेबर बेस्ड जो स्टार्टअप्स होते हैं जिसपे लोगों का इन्वॉल्वमेंट ज्यादा है तो उस पे जो इन्वेस्टर्स होता है उनका इंटरेस्ट काफी कम होता है. और क्योंकि जो हमारा बिजनेस मॉडल है वो एक रूरल बेस्ड बिजनेस मॉडल है जिसपे हम लोग ये कोशिश करते हैं कि जो बैम्बू को लेके जो रूरल एरियाज में जो एक बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है और जो उनके पास रॉ मटेरियल और जो स्किल है उसको किस तरीके से हम एक अच्छे प्रोडक्ट के साथ मार्केट में ला सकें. तो इस पे से थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी आप जरूर दीजिए कि अगर इसको एक अच्छा अगर हमको ग्रो करना है या स्केल करना है इन फ्यूचर, क्योंकि अभी तो हम बूटस्ट्रैप में और शायद आने वाले 1-2 साल थोड़े से नंबर्स दिखाने के लिए हमको और भी बूटस्ट्रैप पे ही रहना पड़ेगा. बट इन फ्यूचर अगर हम लोग चाहते हैं कि फंड रेज करना चाहें तो किस तरीके से हमको जो है हमारे स्टार्टअप का डायरेक्शन क्या होना चाहिए या फिर किस तरीके से हम जब हम पिच करते हैं तो एक इन्वेस्टर्स को ये ट्रस्ट बता सकें कि किस तरीके से एक रूरल बेस्ड जो हमारा आइडिया है बिजनेस मॉडल है वो किस तरीके से फिजिबल है. इसमें आप क्या सोचते हैं, फिर उस पर क्लैरिटी चाहिए.
देखो, इन्वेस्टर पैसा डालना चाहता है लेकिन वो इन्वेस्टर पैसा डाल के फिर उसमें से एग्जिट भी करना चाहता है. वो चाहता है कि 5 से 8 साल में अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट को बेच के निकल जाए बाहर. अगर आप इसको काफी एम्प्लॉई हैवी बिजनेस बनाओगे तो इन्वेस्टर को पूरी वैल्यू नहीं मिलती जो उसने पैसा डाला है. तो उसको तो चाहिए कि आप कोई ऐसी चीज बनाओ जो अच्छे प्राइस पे, नॉर्मल प्राइस पे मैक्सिमम लोगों के पास अवेलेबल हो और वो चीज इतना सेल हो जाए, इतना अच्छा हो जाए दैट, जैसे उसको कहते हैं ना प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट. और प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट यही बोलते हैं कि हमने एक चीज बना ली है विच इज नाउ फुल्ली रेडी टू ग्रो. और वो इन्वेस्टर क्या करता है, ही पुट्स इन सम मनी गोज इनटू मार्केटिंग, कंपनी की सेल बढ़ती है, इन्वेस्टर का वैल्यू बढ़ती है और इन्वेस्टर 5-6 साल बाद एग्जिट कर लेता है. तो इसलिए वो बोलते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी, कि टेक्नोलॉजी को आप यूज करो. तो जहाँ तक आपका जो फार्मिंग बिजनेस आप बता रहे हो, इसके अंदर भी आई एम श्योर जो कंपनीज अभी कर रही हैं, जो डिफरेंट टाइप की कंपनीज हैं, देहात है और तो वो भी डिफरेंट तरीके से अपने बिजनेस मॉडल को चेंज कर करके और समझने की कोशिश कर रही हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से आप ये कर सकते हो कि आप जो इंडिया की टॉप 10 या 15 एग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप्स हैं, आप उनको थोड़ा समझो कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं. और अगर आपको उसी में से, जैसे फार्म टू फोक मॉडल है, फार्म टू फोक मतलब कि खुद ही उगाएंगे और वहां से खुद ही एंड कस्टमर को बेचेंगे जो कंज्यूम करेगा. तो बेसिकली हाइड्रोपोनिक्स है. हाइड्रोपोनिक्स मतलब बिना सॉइल के आप प्लांट को उगा रहे हो, तो बहुत प्रॉफिटेबल है. जो हाइड्रोपोनिक्स, somebody is making plants on hydroponics, very profitable. So you'll have to finalize your business model according to understanding that ये जो इन्वेस्टमेंट जा रही है ये किन किन चीज़ों में जा रही है और एक बार आपकी वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है तो उसके बाद आप उसमें से चूज कर सकते हो कि मेरे को कौन सी चीज करनी चाहिए।
ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट सर। बट सर इसमें एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था कि जैसे हम लोग बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल की जो बात करते हैं, बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल का जो ओवरऑल अभी मार्केट है यूएस और यूरोप में वो काफी अच्छा है, बट जब वो इंडिया में आते हैं तो यहाँ पर जो कंपनीज है काफी स्ट्रगल करती है। इवन जो प्राइस जो कंपनीज जो बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल में यूरोप और यूएस मार्केट में जो है वो काफी नीश सेगमेंट का प्रोडक्ट है, और इवन इंडिया में भी जो वेंचर्स हैं उनका भी जो प्रोडक्ट है काफी नीश सेगमेंट का है। बट यहाँ पर जो हम अभी प्रोडक्ट जो ऑफर कर रहे हैं वो उसका जस्ट हाफ प्राइस है जो हम ऑफर कर रहे हैं। इवन उसमें भी जो हमारा ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट मार्जिन है वो काफी ज्यादा है। तो एज अ बैम्बू बाईसाइकिल इंडस्ट्री में, क्योंकि हम बोलते हैं कि ये मेड फॉर इंडियन रोड्स है, उतना ही टफ है, उतना ही सस्टेनेबल है, प्लस इसमें इको फ्रेंडली भी है, प्लस आपको एक्सपीरियंस जो है वो आपको हाई एंड बाईसाइकिल का आपको एक्सपीरियंस मिलता है, और एट द एंड आपको जो एफिशिएंसी है आपकी राइडिंग वो आपको बढ़ाता है। तो ओवरऑल ये सारी चीजें जो हैं हम वो 50% डिस्काउंट मतलब प्राइस रेंज में हम ऑफर कर रहे हैं, और उसमें हमारा ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट मार्जिन एट प्रेजेंट हमारा ज्यादा है। तो एज अ वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट आप इस बिजनेस मॉडल को कैसे देखते हैं?
मैं आपका प्रोडक्ट को अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर रहा। मतलब बैम्बू की बाईसाइकिल आपने बनाई है तो उसका क्या एडवांटेज है? मतलब इज इट सेफ? और जो ये बैम्बू आपने यूज किया है वो कितने अमाउंट में इजीली अवेलेबल है थ्रू आउट द कंट्री? और ये जो बाईसाइकिल है इसका अगेन मतलब मैं थोड़ा सा इफ आई अंडरस्टैंड इट मोर फाइनली आई विल बी बेटर एबल टू कमेंट। तो आप अगर आपका कोई प्रेजेंटेशन है तो आप यू कैन सेंड इट टू मी, माय ईमेल आईडी इज गिवन बाय नाजिश, एंड
Sure, sir.
देन वी कैन हैव अ कॉल एंड डिस्कस।
Sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Sahil with a question for you.
Okay. Hi, Sahil.
Yes, thanks. So my question was, so what is that one aspect that you would look for in an entrepreneur? Like an entrepreneur would look for in when finding his co-founders or, building a team for a startup.
The biggest thing I look for is your bravery, how brave you are, your grit. If you are brave, you will take calculated risk. And I'm not saying that you take undue risk, but you have to take calculated risk. And if you are not taking calculated risk, then how will the return come? Because risk and return are, they are basically they come together. So suppose you are a logistics company and you have to, you are getting good business. Now you have to decide whether to open warehouses in a particular area. Now, how will you decide? You can't just randomly open the warehouse, right? You have to do a calculation that, from this, I might get this much business. So every decision is a financial decision. There is a cost of that decision. So, one thing is bravery, grit. And the second thing is how to plan. How to plan and take those risks. How to bet on the right decision. So these are the qualities which I feel, that how do you plan your risk and how bold you are. So boldness, I think, goes a long way.
Thank you so much, sir. The answer was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahil.
So do we have time for one more question as we have exceeded 7, or should we end the session?
No, you can ask. Most feel free.
All right. So, okay. Siddharth, Mr. Siddharth, you can ask your question to sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for such an insightful session. So my question is that these days many companies run on losses in its initial stages with the objective of acquiring the market share. So do you think that this actually turns out to be a sustainable and a profitable strategy, as there are companies who have still been running on losses? For example, Uber had charged people at the start with lesser rates, but then they have charged rates with a surge fee. applicable. So do you think is it sustainable?
See, you have to understand the quality of the losses. That why is the loss coming? So I give this example in so many places that WeWork, it identifies the best location in the city. Then it takes that location on almost 9 to 15 years of very costly lease. And then it builds 7-star infrastructure on that location. And how does it earn? It gives out that location on almost daily, weekly kind of rents to the gig economy people who are always in and out of jobs. So what a faulty business model. I mean, if the loss is coming because of such a business model, naturally they wanted to come out with an IPO of $45 billion. But the investment bankers did not give them even $8 billion valuation. So they had to pull out from the IPO. So basically, why is the loss coming? Now, in the case of other companies with strong fundamentals, their loss comes because they are creating a new business or they have invested in a new business, and that business will slowly, after the investments go in, it will turn around, start giving you free cash flows, and then your operating profit will be positive, and then the free cash flows will take care of your investments. So my point is that not all losses are the same, and investors are very happy to fund those losses which are resulting in expansion of market share. So Swiggy and Zomato, they make huge losses, but at the same time, every year their market share grows up. So investor is happy. You want to have more and more share of a business whose market share is growing, rather than a business which is doing so much cash burn in spite of not getting more market. So not the two businesses are not the same, and basically it depends on why the losses are coming.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions. I think it was a truly insightful session. Is there anything you wish to add, or should we go forward with the closing?
No, I don't wish to add anything. I can just tell you some very small tips before I finish. One is that if you feel that there is a gap between what you have learned in college and what you want to you feel you should have before opening your startup to become an entrepreneur, then you join a company, join a startup, see how teams are getting built, how they are generating funding, how they are managing their cash flow, how they are setting up the processes, different processes, how they are doing their hiring. So you can take some exposure. And if you join a startup, then they give you employee stock option plans also, ESOPs. So naturally, your salary might be less, but you will earn more on the share side, on ESOP side. So I'm not saying that, blindly jump into entrepreneurship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you must do the entrepreneurship if you are convinced that what you are creating is really, you have a firm belief. And one way of being more assured about becoming an entrepreneur, write blogs on medium.com. Maybe you open your own website, you write there, put the summary of that article on different social media. Be very interactive. People will tell you. So you will get to know, that where are you lacking in your thinking, and people will give you feedback. So you will be able to refine what you want to do and how you want to do. So hustle, you have to hustle it out. So there is no fixed path to success. There is no fixed path. But end of the day, those who take the next step, they only reach somewhere. So you have to begin very small. Join an incubator, join an accelerator. They will help you with a lot of stuff. But end of the day, the interest of the company has to be protected by you only, because you are the entrepreneur behind it. You are the founder behind it. So all the best to all of you. I mean, I'm sure you'll do well. You are learning from such a good institution. And it was my pleasure to come here today and give the talk. So thank you all of you for your valuable time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I think it was a wonderful session for all of us, and we learned a lot. May I please request Janvi to take over?
After such a spellbinding session, it is an absolute honor and my pleasant duty to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. With immense appreciation and gratitude, I thank Mr. Tushar Kansal for being present with us today and taking out time from his busy schedule to furnish the startup founders with his life lessons and experiences. We are sure that the learnings from this session will act as a guiding light and hold our audience in good stead for this future. A special mention to our respected principal, Reverend Dr. Dominic Savio SJ, and our vice principals, Reverend Father Joseph Kalendai, Reverend Father Peter Akorin, and Professor Burton De Silva for encouraging us to pursue greatness and live up to the great Xaverian reputation. I would further like to thank our faculty advisor, Dr. 𝘟𝘢𝘵 Mitra, for his leading supervision and inspiration at every juncture. A big thank you to our audience for being patient, interactive, and putting forth such compelling questions. Last but not the least, I would extend a deep sense of appreciation for all the support, timely implementation, and guidance provided by the members of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell. We owe the success of the session to you. Once again, thank you all for tuning in with EDC. Have a pleasant day. Also, all the startups are required to stay in the meeting for 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.